Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If I look a little disheveled, it's because I am. I was just out all day living my best, and I decided to film because I was very excited by a little concept. So I was hanging out with my friend Shaelin, and Shaelin, since the beginning of time, she's always liked really like classic, kind of like natural looking makeup. In high school, she had like a picture of Audrey Hepburn, and she would always like replicate her makeup exactly. And as time has gone on, she has really gravitated more towards like even more natural makeup, and she always kind of figures out these like really long sorted routines. And so I was telling her about how I had been filming with subscribers and stuff like that, and she was like, oh great, you can film my my makeup routine, which is now 50 steps to look like I'm not wearing makeup. And she explained to me what she's been doing lately, and basically she said that she was doing her makeup backwards. So she said that she will do her like cream highlight, cream contour, cream blush, all that kind of stuff, and then put her foundation over top. And I was like, love it, need to try it. You know I'm a cream fiend. I love it so much. So I really wanted to try this out today, and I figured why not try it out with you guys and show you guys the finished look. So what I think I'm gonna do is like work on one side of my face so you guys can kind of see the difference, and we'll see like how kind of natural we can make this look. I'm hoping for the best here. I'm going to put my hair behind my ears delicately. I'm gonna use my LC Cosmetics Complete Remedy Silk Concealer. Really been liking this concealer a lot. I think I mentioned it in my fall winter favorites. Anyways, I like it with more high coverage foundation, and I like it with less coverage as well. Doesn't seem to matter, it works really well with both, so I'm gonna apply a little bit of that first. I do find that like, as my skin has decided to hit the old dusty trail, had a good run there where I had nice clear skin, got real fucking cocky, was really living my best, and things went downhill very rapidly. But I do find that naturally, I'm gonna blend that out. I have a new beauty blender because Arrow just ate my last one. As my skin has been getting worse, I've kind of just naturally been like, dotting a little more concealer on, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, and then I end up having such cakey skin, and I'm kind of like resorting back to like old mentality that like I need more coverage because I have more breakouts, but I just feel like it ends up looking so much more pronounced, so much drier, so much patchier, so much cakier, and then my skin is even more like agitated at the end of the day. So I'm hoping, oh fuck, I was only gonna do one side of my face. That wipe's still good, so I'm just gonna put it back. I'm hoping that I'll be able to find a good little technique here that will make me feel maybe better about my skin, and so I can kind of step away from wearing too much makeup. Okay, I'm gonna take that same concealer we used under the eyes, and I'm taking it on a little pencil brush. I'll zoom you guys in for this a little bit. Taking that little pencil brush, and I'm just gonna dot the tiniest amount of product over my little spots. This one's about halfway. Okay, I'm gonna take my ring finger and just really lightly tap over to blend out a little bit. This is gonna naturally pick up some of the coverage. I just wanna keep like such a light layer of product on there anyways, because I'm trying really hard to not, again, make it so cakey. Guys, I could literally cry talking about my skin. Like, it makes me so upset. And I'm glad that, I know there's a lot of people that are like, oh, like, I love seeing your natural skin texture because it makes me feel better about mine. And I am really glad, like, I'm glad to be able to kind of like share my journey with you and like all the ebbs and flows and stuff like that, because I think it's just really hard when like we're always looking at people that have perfect skin and feeling like that's what our skin should look like. And especially because like a lot of the times we're not even looking at what people's skin actually looks like. We are looking at like filters and like Facetune and Photoshop and all that kind of stuff, and it makes it really hard. But yeah, I don't love where my skin's headed. It's really frustrating. Anyways, I'm not gonna cry. Okay, I'm just zooming you guys out a little bit so you can kind of see my full face. I think what I'm gonna do is start with highlight and then do bronzer, then blush. Yeah, I was talking in one of my last videos about how I feel like my bronzer always looks so muddy when I put my highlight over top, and that I was saying like maybe I need to apply less bronzer, and like it doesn't seem to matter the color of bronzer because like a lot of the times I'll put it on and feel like it looks great and the color's perfect, but then when I put my highlight over top I'm like, oh, this looks horrible and like muddy and patchy all of a sudden. And someone commented saying that they like to put down their highlight first and then go over with their bronzer, and I was like, wow, I literally did that for years and I don't know why I ever stopped, because I used to love how that looked. Like I felt like it really helped look like you were glowing from within rather than like having a stripe of highlight. So I wanted to do that as well today, put my highlight underneath my bronzer. So I wanted to use the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, which is a little bit of a less intense highlight in certain areas. So I think I'm gonna take that down the center of the nose. I'm gonna have to do the nose like completely, obviously. And then I'm gonna take that here as well, because I do like to be really nice and glowy. And then maybe fuck it. A little mustachio. Same thing, I'm gonna go blend that out. Truly, I just wanna wear this as a foundation, but whatever. Apparently that's not what society wants for me. Just a little glowy. Then I'm gonna take my Marc Jacobs, let me just look at the thing. Do You Dewdrops in, oh, it's in the color Do You. It's impossible to not pump out too much of that, just saying. And then I'm gonna apply that to my cheekbones. I'm applying that highlight to a little bit of a larger surface area than I normally would, just cause. Okay, then I'm gonna do my bronzer. For this, I'm gonna be using the Cover FX Sunkissed Bronzing Drops. These are Discontinued, of course. I tried to pick some things that I know set down a little bit more, rather than things that stay super glossy. Ooh, I could see this looking really good for the bronzer, actually. Especially because I tend to over apply my bronzer. Man, what a blessed life I'd be living if I didn't have to wear foundation. I guess technically I don't have to wear foundation. I can do whatever I want. I'm gonna take a little bit of that bronzer and just kind of put it all over my face, apparently. Just kind of put it on my nose a little bit. Well, I think this looks pretty fucking weird so far. Then I'm gonna take my Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate Glow Stick in the color Sunstruck. I talked about it in my summer favorites. I still love it so much. It's a very intense looking blush in the stick, but when you blend it out, I feel like it looks like, I'm never gonna stop describing it this way, and I'm sorry if you're tired of this description, but I feel like it looks like when your burn is about to turn into a suntan, and that makes me pretty happy because that's a happy time in my life. Okay, there we have it. Now I'm gonna mix up my foundation and I'm gonna put it over my face. I think I'm gonna try and just use MAC Face and Body. I'm mixing N2 and C3. I just didn't wanna do anything that's gonna be too, fuck, I love that blush. I didn't wanna do anything that was gonna be too like full coverage, obviously. I'm so intrigued to see how this turns out. See, I already feel better about my breakouts. I feel like they look way nicer. I should never stray from the sheer coverage. Okay. I have my foundation. This is the moment of truth. Okay, I'm gonna start here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think this is gonna end up looking pretty dope. Should I hand my YouTube channel over to Shaelin? Kind of feels like the right response at this point. Wow. Okay, hold on a second here. I need to look at this witchcraft in the mirror. Aside from the fact that I mixed a foundation that doesn't match perfectly, I feel like this actually looks really lovely. And I feel like once you got used to doing it, I'm just gonna foundate my ear. You probably could actually do it quite quickly. So here's like a little like straight on so you guys can kind of see what we're working with. Obviously no makeup on this side. Hashtag no makeup, no filter. And then we have this side. I can still see the highlight, the bronzer, and the blush, which is what I was kind of worried about. I thought that I was gonna like put my makeup on and be like, oh, like this doesn't look like I have anything on. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm like way overselling this. It looks great in person, and then like I'm gonna like upload this and you guys are gonna be like, what the fuck? I feel like I look like I'm a better makeup artist now. Okay, I'm gonna do the other side. I'm gonna take my same little concealer that I had to wipe off earlier. I just feel like so often nowadays, when I was younger, I could not get enough intensity out of everything. Like I used to wear so much blush, so much bronzer, so much highlight because I just wanted it to look as intense as possible kind of thing. But I feel like the older I get, I need to put my beauty mark on, it's throwing me off. Boop. I feel like the older I get, the more that I'm kind of feeling like I don't want my skin to look that obvious anymore. And you know what I think back to all the time is meeting Pixie Woo. So I'm sure you guys all know who they are, but if you don't, just concealing my little spots again. They're YouTube royalty. They've been around forever. Like, they are these two sisters, Nick and Sam. They are the collaborative effort behind Real Techniques brushes. And they have the most incredible makeup channel of all time. Like, if you guys are wanting to learn about like basics and just like how to do really genuinely nice makeup, they have a great YouTube channel. But I remember years ago meeting them, and the best way to describe their makeup in person is that it looks undone and almost like lived in, but not lived in as in like they went partying last night, lived in as in polished, just not over the top basically. It's exactly the amount of makeup that should be on their face. That's what it looks like. And in particular, I remember I was talking to them about how good their skin looked and their brows. And they said that they used soap, and I was like, I'm gonna use soap every day of my life then, which I've been meaning to try out that technique again lately too. I remember them saying that, you know, in America, they're British. They were like, in America, you know, like people go for a really different look, but they were like, in Britain, like, you know, we prefer stuff that looks a little bit more like skin. And I was like, skin looking like skin, a novel idea. Hadn't thought about it like that before. But truly I was like, okay, maybe I'll try that. And I feel like I always think back to how fresh and like gorgeous their skin looked. And it literally just, it made them look so like timelessly beautiful. I mean, they're like beautiful as is, but it made them look so like timeless and classic and gorgeous. And like, I just thought it was so stunning. And I just was like, man, like that's like what I want my skin to look like, because it wasn't flawless as in you couldn't see any of their real skin. It was flawless because you could see their skin. And I feel like that's kind of the attitude I've tried to take towards my skin more and more, especially because I'm dealing with things like scarring and like current acne and stuff like that, which like, it's really, especially in this industry, it's really hard. It's hard anyways. It doesn't matter who you are or what you do. It's hard dealing with stuff like skin issues, because I think that women especially are really expected to like be naturally beautiful. It's not even something just like women are expected to wear makeup. Like, women are expected to not only look good all the time, but not have had to do anything to look that way. Like, no surgery, no hair extensions, just like naturally beautiful basically is what people are looking for. And I feel like that's obviously really unrealistic, because how many people naturally look like these like ideal beauty standards without any kind of like makeup or cosmetic surgery or whatever. Anyways, I'm really going off on a little tangent here. I can't even remember where I was going with that. Oh yeah, I feel like I've been trying to embrace my natural skin more because of stuff like that, because I feel frustrated by the idea that like I can't be beautiful unless my skin is perfect and all that kind of stuff. I just think it's bullshit, man. And I do think it should be about more than just that. So I don't know. I like the idea of being able to see more of my own skin. And it's not that like I don't like the look of more intense makeup, because I see plenty of women and men all the time wearing really intense makeup, and I think they look great. I think it's just more so like for me, from where I'm at right now in my life and where I'm at with like my skin and all that kind of stuff, I feel like it's really important to me to like focus on seeing a lot of this stuff as a feature and not a flaw. I just need to mix up a little bit more of my deeply unmatched face and body. Popping that on. Shaelin is such an interesting creature. She really just like, I admire her because I feel like she never conforms to like any kind of beauty standard. Like basically she has her own concept of what beauty is and what it looks like on her, you know? Like I feel like it's never because she sees someone else doing something and tries to look like them. I feel like it's just, oh, this is how I want to look, you know? And I just think that's so interesting, especially because like being a young woman in this day and age. I sound like the oldest person in the world when I say that. But it is really hard to not want to like look like other people do, I guess. Fuck man, I really like how this looks. Okay, I'm gonna set this a little, just a little though. I'm gonna use my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked palette. Ugh. I'm gonna take this light shade right here and I'm gonna grab that on my little brush and just press that underneath my eyes. Oh my God, I have to like re-mascara my lashes because they're all covered in foundation. Oh, I hate going over mascara that's been there all day and it gets that like chunky, like spidery look. Oh, gross. Just setting that. I'm gonna set it on the sides of my nose just kind of up my forehead a little bit. I'm gonna take the tiniest bit kind of along my jawline. So we're keeping this area really nice and dewy, and I'm not setting that at all, but just kind of setting little areas that I feel like need it. Okay, I'm gonna zoom you guys out so you're not looking so close at my pores. Wow, I really am so impressed by this. It's so interesting because like, definitely my worry was that like you weren't gonna have like enough dimension to the face kind of thing, but I honestly don't feel like that at all. What I've found lately is that even if I'm trying to apply my bronzer with a lighter hand, I still feel like I'm not able to quite get there. I don't know what it is. I just feel like I keep applying and I keep applying, and even if I'm using a lighter bronzer, I just so naturally want to continue to layer it up so that it's like visible like an eyeshadow would be. And I find it really hard to like stop myself, whereas with this, like I feel like this is how I typically want my like bronzer and blush and highlight to look, but I can't force my hand. So I just wanted to include some little video clips of how I kind of normally do my face makeup. I feel like oftentimes my blush looks like it's applied really heavily handed, and that's actually led me to kind of stop wearing blush, and that's like one of my favorite beauty products, but I just feel like I can't, no matter how hard I try, I can't seem to apply it to where it looks more natural, but still like you can see the color and stuff like that. And my bronzer, as I've already mentioned earlier in the video, I feel like I have a hard time not applying heavy-handed as well, even if I'm using lighter shades, as well as my highlight. I still find that it looks really textured, really cakey on my skin, and I think that that's kind of like the biggest thing that I feel like this technique helped with, was not making my skin look more textured and still adding a little bit of dimension without having it look like lines of product on my face. So anyways, just wanted to add those little clips in so you guys could see. This is so interesting. Okay, let me know what you guys think of this. I think this looks dope. I hope it looks as cool on camera as I feel like it looks in person. I'm pretty friggin' ecstatic about it. If you guys try out the shaelin technique, definitely let me know. Send me pictures and I'm gonna send them all to shaelin and I'll be like, look at what you created. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging on chatting. I will see you guys next time. Peace